Hi, my name's Leona from Supra Conscioussoul, and this is your lunar eclipse in Aquarius reading. So, just going to tune into the energy. Lunar eclipse in Aquarius. What do we need to know? What was our past focus? What was behind us? So what was the issue? What's the issue round right about now? How are we feeling right now as a collective? What's been distracting us? What's been helping us? Thank you for the highest good of all. What is our new focus moving forward after the eclipse? And what is ahead of us? Okay, so underneath the deck we have the Seven of Swords. So, for a lot of us, this is about persisting despite insecurities. It's about continuing to go on despite everything that we're faced by. It's also about fears. I forgot to say that I have pulled out 5 oracle cards as well to go with this reading beforehand, just to speed it up. So it's talking about facing our fears. It's talking about getting out of there in some senses, getting ourselves out of there, taking away some of the chairs at that table. Like, it's about we're purging. So mentally we're being asked to kind of let go of what we don't need and just kind of take what we need and get out of there. For a lot of us, we are part of getting out of there means persisting. It means carrying on despite everything that we're being faced by. So, our old focus, we have the Lovers card. Now, this is about relationships. It's about things being reflected back to us. So, thoughts about ourselves being reflected back to us and coming to us in the form of relationships around us, whether that's co-workers, whether that's a romantic relationship. It can also be about looking at the shadow side of relationships, or the shadow part of ourselves being reflected back to us at this time. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because the devil is our issue, yeah? So that's about control, yeah? So in some senses, it's like we're looking at communicating about not relinquishing our control of ourselves, yeah? It's about being aware of what we have coming in, what's being reflected back to us in terms of other relationships. That was the focus coming in. So, what's behind us is the Ten of Swords. This could have been an event, this could have been a betrayal, this could have been something that's happened that's kind of made us just say, look, we need to just lay down and surrender, yeah? It's like, in some senses, it challenged us so much that we just had to stop, yeah? This is talking about the end of a situation. It's also talking about something that cannot get any worse than this, yeah? It's talking about that realization of that, knowing that it cannot get any worse than this. This could have been the impetus, because we have 2 tens here. Yeah, this is the Ten of Wands. So this talks about carrying a lot of burdens, carrying a lot of pressures, maybe feeling like we've been betrayed by others. We're not able to express ourselves fully. So it could be that we're taking on a lot of things that we're not able to deal with, yeah, whether that's mentally or whether that's physically, yeah. So there is a need to just be careful that we don't kind of burst with two tens like that, yeah? Just to know that we are at that upper point, to acknowledge that, yeah? And realise that sometimes this is the impetus to move forward. So, with the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords, I'm also realising here that we have detached from drama. So this is Palais Athena. Now, she is asking us to kind of detach from anybody else's drama, yeah? It's about bringing that focus inwards, because a lot of these, it's like where it's becoming, it could be becoming too much. Certain situations could be becoming too much for some people. So it's asking us to take back control of what we can take control of, to not get involved in other people's drama, to just kind of like maintain our own sacred space for a while, yeah? So we also got, now we need sacred space, but we also got the Ancestor card that talks about home and belonging. So this is talking about, we're asking ourselves, what is home right now? What are we needing to purge out that is unnecessary drama, that is bringing chairs to the table, but they shouldn't be? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's about allowing yourselves to come home to yourself, in a sense, to realise, to cut out everybody else's negativity, to detach from everybody else right now, and to focus on the self and what it is you want. Bring it back to home, bring all the energy back to home. So the reason that is necessary, because we got Healer of the Ages in reverse. This is 51, and it's talking about, 51 is 6. This is talking about an imbalance in love, in harmony, yeah? It feels like we're on a bit of a roller coaster at the moment. It feels like everything's up in the air. But the Healer of Ages asks you to come back to yourself, yeah? It asks you to just close your eyes and imagine the warmth and the vibration of all this healing that's going on, because we're all doing a lot of subconscious work, a lot of shadow work, a lot of inner child work this month, yeah? Because it's like that's what's needed. We're having to have that mental cleanse as well as that external cleanse with the Ten of Swords and Ten of Wands. So this is just asking you to allow yourself this process of healing. Don't try and speed it up. Now, the Devil is the issue. So this can talk about control. It can talk about lust. It can talk about temptations. It can talk about desire, yeah? But ultimately, it's like restrictions, yeah? Things that are stopping us. So there is like a power battle going on at the moment, yeah? And in some senses, we're being called to have faith and hope in this, because here we are now. We still have hope and we still have faith. It's also the card of Aquarius, the star. So this is a good card to have as us now. So this is also a significator in that sense. So Aquarius is about the healing. It's about allowing ourselves as well to shine from the inside out, because it's like we're taking on this here and it's like we're allowing ourselves to shine, yeah? So it's taken away. In some senses, we have an opposition, because the star is Aquarius. It talks about the collective. So we have hope and faith for the collective, but right now it's about doing the internal work. So what's distracting us is the moon. So this is talking about Pisces energy. It's talking about all the undercurrents that are going on beneath the surface. It's talking about fears. It's talking about hidden things. It's talking about phobias, delusions, fantasies, yeah? It's talking about not being able to see clearly through the way forward. Now, what's interesting is that we got the phobia card in the... Oh, pick it up here. So we got the phobia card in the past life energy. So this means that past life phobias are coming in at the moment, and that was above the Healer of the Ages. So this is talking about we're healing certain phobias, certain fears that we could have picked up from past life energy. Now, fears and phobias are about losing control or feeling like there's a lack of control. So with the devil here, these are our fears, these are our phobias, these are the issues coming to face us right now. So we're having to go through the healing process of this with the Healer of Ages. Now, we're being called to still have faith and hope, yeah, in this situation. So we need to release control, release fear of having control, yeah? And allow ourselves to have hope and faith that it will move forward in a much better way. So, helping us is the Five of Cups. Now, the Five of Cups is somebody who's focusing on regrets as opposed to the two cups that are still left standing, yeah? So it's about focusing on the positive with the Five of Cups. This is what will help us move forward. However, this is also a card of like mediumship, intuition. Now, next to the moon as well, it could also be saying, don't allow these things that have gone wrong to distract you, because there's still hidden information here. There's still something you don't know. And the star also talks about things being guided celestially. It does talk about astrology. It talks about tarot. It talks about things that are happening, like the cogs that are making things work. So focus on the two cups that we still have left, yeah, and that will take us forward. So our new focus, quite happily, is the Three of Cups. Now, this is talking about reunions, firstly. So it could be relationships that come back and have a renewed sense of self to them, a renewed vigor, yeah? It talks about small celebrations. It talks about engagement parties. It talks about having fun, enjoyment, enjoying ourselves again. It's getting back into that emotional fulfillment place. Now, we also have, for ahead of us, is the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles is somebody who's worried about finances, or they're worried about their heart, yeah, protecting their heart. The Four of Pentacles still asks us to move forward in a stable way, because it's a four. It's about being grounded. So we're being called to be more grounded, to be more stable, and to make sure that we have certain boundaries up moving forward. Because remember, we've just purged, yeah? Then we've had hope and faith. And now we're asking to remember to have those boundaries. And we're also asking to being asked to remind ourselves that we cannot take finances with you. So trust and have faith that the universe is going to provide, because the last card in the reading is the Sun card. Now, this talks about beautiful new beginnings. It talks about joy that radiates like the warmth of the sun. It talks about passions, following our passions, writing that book. It talks about things coming together and blending, such as families, new additions, adoption. It talks about having a sense of joy that radiates out, yeah, and that joy radiates out to others, and then it radiates out. This is a ripple card. This is like one of the best cards in the whole deck. So to end on that note, however, what I've also been doing as an extra thing for some of my private readings is I have these psychological cards. Now, I picked one for Lunar, Eclipse and Aquarius, and we got this. I'm just going to read it quickly because we're running out of time. As so often, the crucial question is, what isn't openly acknowledged? What aspects of the relationship lie beneath the carefully maintained surface? Those may be the very factors that require the high maintenance, the demanding attention that you find is called for in order to sustain the relationship. You will probably be aware that you work well together, but it may be that those underlying unspoken tensions are responsible sometimes for a lack of spontaneity. A little occasional disorder in the relationship might be enjoyable and add a bit of zest to things. So transmute that energy of the devil and go and have some fun with it. Take care, stay blessed. I really do hope this has helped. Bye-bye.